Instead of complaining about anything, learn to be thankful for everything. Hashtag speaking from the heart. B. Fletcher.
And just to clear the air, I don't give a fuck about how nobody feel about me. Keep feeling it, bitch.
That was eerily prophetic because on March 26, 2023, Winter Nicole Straw would be found dead outside her apartment in Columbia, South Carolina, shot multiple times by the very man who promised her family he would never hurt her.
Well, tonight, a woman's family is grieving following a deadly domestic violence situation. Richland deputies responded to an apartment on Mallet Hill Road last night to calls of a woman who we now know as Winter Straw. She was found shot to death outside her home. Investigators say her husband barricaded himself inside that home, eventually shooting himself. Straw's family met outside the apartments this evening to remember the woman and speak out against domestic violence.
When people think of Winter, I wouldn't think of just a sweet, innocent girl who was out here trying to make her mom proud, make her family proud, and just to do what she loved most.
I'm the baby of my family, and so she was my little sister, and so it just hurt me so bad because I wish I was there for her. I wish I was right down the street. I just wish she would have called. I just want everybody to keep us in prayers.
My God.
Long live Winchie. I love you, expert.
But before we get to that horrifying Sunday evening in March, let me take you back to where this story really begins, because understanding who Winter Straw was makes what happened to her even more devastating and even more important for all of us to learn from.
We're running late for dinner, but get ready with us. Well, more so like an outfit of the day. Purse, Forever 21, bodysuit, Charlotte Russe, skirt, Shein. I don't have no shoes on, but some sandals. Come on, baby.
Shirt, ABP.
Billionaire boys.
Billionaire boys. Shorts. My baby. Socks. ABP. Baby. Horsey. Sorry, that's Foot Locker.
Winter Nicole Straw was born and raised in Columbia, South Carolina, the youngest child in her family, earning her the affectionate nickname Wenchie among those who loved her most dearly. From her earliest days, Winter displayed a fierce determination and an unwavering commitment to making her family proud, qualities that would define every single aspect of her short but incredibly impactful life.
In honor of Thanksgiving, I got a question for you. Fucking coleslaw, green bean casserole, stuffing. No, that's a good one. Fucking raisins in the potato salad as side as bitches.
She graduated from Columbia High School in 2015 before heading to Allen University, a historically black institution right there in her beloved hometown, where she would truly begin to shine in ways that left lasting impressions on everyone fortunate enough to cross her path. At Allen University, Winter competed as a student athlete on both the women's volleyball and basketball teams, pouring her heart and soul into every practice, every game, every opportunity to represent her school with pride and excellence. Her contributions weren't just notable, they were historic and groundbreaking. She helped secure the university's first AII Conference Championship and its inaugural women's basketball title in 2016, achievements that still stand as testaments to her athletic prowess and her ability to work collaboratively toward monumental goals that seemed impossible until she made them a reality.
Stop asking me, do I have friends? It's just me and my dog.
Oh, for now.
Bark, bitch.
Beyond the court and beyond her impressive athletic achievements, Winter was an active and dedicated member of the Gamma Pi chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, embodying a deep and genuine commitment to community service, sisterhood, and uplifting others around her in every possible way. In 2020, she earned her Bachelor of Arts degree in social science with a pre-law concentration, harboring dreams and aspirations of attending law school and becoming an advocate for those who couldn't advocate for themselves, those who needed someone with her strength and her voice to fight on their behalf.
Fuck your life! Bing bong! If you see these dogs in your front yard, just know upstairs I'm going hard. Bing bong! What do you want to tell Joe Biden right now?
What's up, baby? Take me out to dinner.
Hey, yo! Hey, yo, Ariana Grande, what's up, mama? I'll come to...
Even after graduation, when so many people move on and forget about their alma mater, Winter remained deeply engaged with Allen University, returning regularly to mentor current students, attend games, and cheer on the teams she once played for, to be that shining example of what dedication and perseverance could accomplish if you refuse to give up on your dreams. Professionally, Winter served as a mental health officer at the South Carolina Department of Corrections Broad River Secure Facility. Her responsibilities included providing crisis intervention services, delivering behavioral health programs, and offering crucial support to inmates struggling with severe and often debilitating mental health challenges that made every single day a battle for survival and stability.
Fuck your life! Bing bong! If you see these dogs in your front yard, just know upstairs I'm going hard. Bing bong! What do you want to tell Joe Biden right now?
What's up, baby? Take me out to dinner.
Hey, yo! Hey, yo, Ariana Grande, what's up, mama? I'll come to...
Colleagues and South Carolina Department of Corrections Director Brian Sterling praised Winter as the epitome of a dedicated officer, someone whose genuine care and authentic concern for the well-being of those she served set her apart from so many others in the field. Her mother, LaShawn Williams, described her beloved daughter as determined, community-driven, and a rising star, someone who was sweet and innocent while simultaneously being fierce and unstoppable in her pursuit of excellence and her desire to make a meaningful difference in the world around her.
All around, just a good person, a rising star. We didn't see any signs, no signals. It wasn't like she was coming around us with black eyes or anything like that. So there was none of that. It is definitely a betrayal. Because this man looked me in my eyes all the time. And whenever I would talk to him, I'd say, I'm giving you my child, a wholehearted, bubbly personality, and that's how I want to get her back. And he always assured me he would never do anything to hurt my child.
Winter's personal life included a passionate love for social media, particularly TikTok, where she created fun and lighthearted videos that showcased her bubbly personality, her infectious laugh, her love of fashion and makeup, and the joy she found in the simple pleasures of everyday life.
What? Ah, wow.
But more than anything else, her TikTok account became known for one thing above all others, her relationship with Renardo S. Johnson.
Do not call me handsome if you ain't gonna hand me some of that, but don't get down.
Yeah, we can barely get out.
Renardo S. Johnson was 27 years old, originally from Pelion, South Carolina, a small town in Lexington County. Public details about his background remain frustratingly limited even now, with very little information available about his profession, his education, his upbringing, or really anything about his life before he became entangled with Winter in a relationship that would eventually cost her everything she had worked so hard to build and achieve. What we do know is that Winter and Renardo had been together for several years, building what appeared from the outside to be an unbreakable bond. Their TikTok presence showed content absolutely overflowing with affection, humor, dancing, joking, playful banter, and those intimate moments that made their followers feel like they were witnessing something truly special and genuinely authentic. Videos showed them laughing together until they couldn't breathe, holding each other close, finishing each other's sentences, participating in couple challenges that asked questions like who said I love you first, who loves harder, who's more protective, who can't live without the other.
Who was interested first Who said I love you first? Who's more protective? Who cleans more? Who eats the most? Who spends the most money? Who is most likely to start an argument? Who falls asleep first? Who is more annoying? Who loves the hardest?
In August of 2022, Winter was involved in a serious car accident that required substantial recovery time and left her vulnerable and in need of constant care and support. During this incredibly difficult period, Renardo stepped up in ways that deeply impressed and reassured her entire family. He stayed by her bedside throughout her recovery, providing the kind of devoted care that strengthened their bond even further and made her family believe without question that this was a man who truly loved their daughter.
Come here. Yeah, come. Bitch, yeah.
LaShawn Williams, Winter's mother, welcomed Renardo into their family with open arms, seeing absolutely no red flags or warning signs.
So as soon as we find out who you are, trust you will be dealt.
May 6, 2023 started like any other Sunday evening in Northeast Columbia, South Carolina. But at approximately 6 o'clock in the evening, everything changed most violently and irreversibly imaginable. Winter Nicole Straw was found lying outside the apartment building, deceased from multiple gunshot wounds. Her life brutally and senselessly ended in an instant.
Tonight, the mother of a murdered Richland County woman is looking to turn the tragedy into a rallying cry against domestic violence.
Winter Straw's family confirmed she was killed in last night's multi-hour standoff between deputies and a barricaded man. Richland County Sheriff's deputies say they found Straw dead outside before starting negotiations with the suspect.
So this happened on the 700 block of Mallet Hill Road in Richland County. That's on the northeast side. Chris Joseph spoke with Winter's mom today.
LaShawn Williams is the mother of Winter Straw and described Straw's murder as a shock and a betrayal. She says she's now turning her energy to taking on domestic violence.
She was a good friend, good sister, great daughter, all around just a good person, a rising star.
LaShawn Williams spoke lovingly of her daughter, Winter Straw, describing her as determined and community-driven. She says the family welcomed the man, and there were never any signs of mistreatment.
We didn't see any signs, no signals. It wasn't like she was coming around us with black eyes or anything like that. So there was none of that.
Making the murder a shock.
It is definitely a betrayal, because this man looked me in my eyes all the time. And whenever I would talk to him, I'd say, I'm giving you my child, a wholehearted, bubbly personality, and that's how I want to get her back. And he always assured me he would never do anything to hurt my child.
She says Winter's death has given the family a new purpose.
We want to make it clear, real clear. Domestic violence is not a joke. It's not something that we should take lightly. For those of you that are posting on Facebook and doing all that unnecessary stuff, I don't care what a person does to you. You don't have the right to take her life. You don't have the right to put your hands on nobody.
County officials have not confirmed the name of the suspect, but the sheriff's department did report he died in the hospital overnight from what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Williams says that the family will be hosting a vigil this evening for Straw at the Carrington Place at Wildwood apartment homes at 6:30. Reporting in Richland County, Chris Joseph, WIS News 10.
The scene was immediately secured as a high-priority crisis, with deputies working quickly to understand what had happened and whether anyone else was in immediate danger. Renardo Johnson, identified as both the shooter and Winter's romantic partner, had barricaded himself inside the apartment, refusing to come out, refusing to surrender peacefully, creating a tense and dangerous standoff situation that would last for hours and keep the entire neighborhood on edge, wondering if more violence was about to erupt at any moment.
And go the fuck well. And do the fuck what?
My name is Winter, and I'm the birthday girl in 3 days, and I'm guaranteed to be the drunkest.
Say one, man. She gonna be the drunkest, I promise you. So 11:02, 11:05, she out of here.
Initial reports suggested that a child might be inside the apartment with Johnson, which immediately escalated the urgency of the situation and heightened the fear and anxiety of everyone involved, desperately trying to get information about what was happening to their loved one. Fortunately, this information was later confirmed to be completely unfounded.
What's wrong now? What is it? Tell me what it is.
All right, put the dick in the back.
Negotiator teams established contact with Johnson, attempting to talk him down, convince him to surrender peacefully, to end this without any more bloodshed, and give himself a chance to explain why he had driven himself to this point of no return. The standoff stretched on for nearly 3 full hours, from approximately 6 o'clock in the evening until around 9 o'clock that night, with Sheriff Leon Lott himself maintaining a presence at the scene. But around 9 o'clock in the evening, Johnson suddenly stopped responding to the negotiators, and shortly after the communication stopped, a single gunshot was heard from inside the apartment, prompting immediate action from the tactical teams who had been waiting outside for hours. When deputies finally breached the apartment, they found Renardo with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to his upper body. He was immediately transported to a local hospital for emergency medical treatment, but the injuries were too severe to overcome. Johnson died later that night from his self-inflicted injuries, taking with him any explanation for why he had done this, any possibility of understanding what had driven him to murder the woman he had cared for during her accident.
His pockets hurt.
Her made this beat.
If the nigga wanna hit it, make that nigga spend it, make his pockets hurt. Lil' Kella, what's up?
Attention. This ain't for you 9 to...
On the evening of March 26th, even as the standoff was still unfolding, even as investigators were still processing the scene and trying to piece together what had happened, Winter's family gathered outside the apartment complex to honor her memory and to speak out against domestic violence that had stolen her from them far too soon. The pain in those words is absolutely devastating. The regret and the helplessness and the desperate wish that somehow things could have been different, that somehow Winter could have reached out, that somehow this tragedy could have been prevented if only someone had known, if only someone had seen what was really happening behind all those smiling TikTok videos. But here's what makes this case particularly chilling and so important for everyone watching this video to understand. No one in Winter's family had seen any signs of abuse whatsoever. No bruises, black eyes, unexplained injuries, or concerning changes in behavior that would have raised alarm bells or prompted intervention. LaShawn Williams, Winter's devastated mother, emphasized this point repeatedly in interviews following her daughter's death, explaining that they had seen absolutely no red flags that would have indicated Winter was in danger from the man she loved and trusted. This man looked me in my eyes all the time, and whenever I would talk to him, I'd say, I'm giving you my child, a wholehearted, bubbly personality, and that's how I want to get her back. And he always assured me he would never do anything to hurt my child. Williams recounted, her voice breaking with the weight of betrayal and loss. We didn't see any signs, no signals. It wasn't like she was coming around us with black eyes or anything like that. In the aftermath of Winter's murder, people began looking back at her social media presence with new eyes, searching desperately for clues they might have missed, for warning signs that were there all along but went unnoticed because everyone was so captivated by the image of the perfect couple that Winter and Renardo had so carefully cultivated online.
I don't know which one of you bitches just lied to me and told me I'm not gonna see no monsters until later in the game. I just seen that motherfucker!
Some observers pointed to subtle hints in Winter's Facebook posts about peace and endings, cryptic messages that might have been cries for help or simply reflections on life that took on new meaning only after the tragedy occurred. But these posts were vague enough that nobody interpreted them as warnings at the time. Because why would they when everything else suggested a loving, supportive relationship? This phenomenon is far more common than most people realize, and it's one of the most concerning aspects of modern relationships played out on social media platforms. And if you think Winter's story is unique, if you think this could never happen to someone you know or someone you follow online, then you need to hear about another case that shares chilling similarities with what happened to Winter Straw. Her name was Gabrielle Petito, but everyone knew her as Gabby. She was a 22-year-old aspiring content creator and travel influencer who documented her cross-country van life adventures with her fiancé, Brian Laundrie, on Instagram and YouTube, posting scenic photos and videos that amassed thousands of followers who watched with envy and admiration. Their content showed adventure, romance, beautiful landscapes, and what appeared to be an unbreakable bond between two young people living their best lives on the open road. Just like Winter and Renardo's TikTok videos of dancing and laughing, Gabby and Brian's posts painted a picture of relationship goals, of couple goals, of the kind of love story that makes people believe in soulmates and happily ever afters. But beneath that carefully constructed veneer, there was escalating domestic violence that would ultimately culminate in Gabby's strangulation death in Wyoming in September of 2021, followed by Brian Laundrie's suicide weeks later in a Florida nature reserve. The similarities between Gabby Petito's case and Winter Straw's case are absolutely striking and deeply disturbing. Both involved young women in their 20s whose relationships were glamorized and idealized on social media platforms, hiding red flags of control and violence that nobody seemed to notice or take seriously until it was tragically too late to intervene. In Winter's case, her family noted that Renardo had repeatedly assured them of her safety, that there were no visible signs of abuse whatsoever, no bruises or injuries that would have raised alarm bells. In Gabby's case, there was actually a documented police intervention in Moab, Utah on August 12, 2021, where body cam footage captured her visibly distraught, tearful, and admitting to physical fights with Brian. But here's the absolutely infuriating part. The officers who responded to that call separated the couple without making any arrests, citing the situation as mutual combat, as just a young couple having a rough day, as nothing serious enough to warrant intervention or follow-up. That decision, that failure to recognize the danger Gabby was in, allowed the abuse to continue escalating until it ended with her murder just weeks later. Both perpetrators died by suicide after killing the women they claimed to love. Renardo Johnson barricaded himself in the apartment immediately after shooting Winter and took his own life during the standoff, while Brian Laundrie fled after killing Gabby and later shot himself in a swamp, leaving behind unresolved questions about motives and what exactly drove these men to commit such horrific acts of violence against the women who trusted them most. Social media's role in both cases amplified the cruel irony of these tragedies. Winter's TikTok videos continued to circulate online as cautionary tales, as reminders of how dangerous it can be to trust what we see on our screens. Gabby's Instagram posts sparked viral searches, awareness campaigns, and countless discussions about the difference between the life someone portrays online and the reality they're living behind closed doors. But here's where the two cases diverge in ways that reveal deeply troubling truths about our society, about whose victims we pay attention to, whose deaths spark national conversations, and whose deaths are mourned primarily by their immediate communities and forgotten by the wider world. Gabby Petito's case exploded into a global phenomenon, receiving relentless 24-hour media coverage, FBI involvement at the highest levels, public vigils attended by thousands of people who had never met her, and massive social media campaigns that pressured law enforcement to prioritize the investigation and find answers for her family. This phenomenon is the missing white woman syndrome, pointing out the uncomfortable reality that young, attractive white women who go missing or become victims of violence receive disproportionate media attention compared to women of color in identical circumstances. The massive attention on Gabby's case led to tangible, meaningful outcomes. The Petito family became powerful advocates for domestic violence reforms, pushing for enhanced police training on recognizing strangulation risks, which are a factor in 45 to 50% of all domestic violence homicides. Federal legislation like the 2022 Violence Against Women Reauthorization was passed, with provisions specifically emphasizing support for underserved communities. In stark contrast, Winter's story, while prompting beautiful local memorials like a purple bench dedicated in her honor at her workplace for domestic violence awareness, received far less national media spotlight, far fewer resources allocated to preventing similar tragedies, and far less public outcry demanding systemic change. This disparity is particularly painful when you consider that black women face higher rates of domestic violence than white women, with 35% of black women experiencing intimate partner violence in their lifetimes compared to 29% of white women. Yet they receive significantly less media attention, fewer dedicated resources, and lower levels of public concern when they become victims. Both tragedies emphasize the critical importance of recognizing warning signs like excessive jealousy, controlling behavior, and constant monitoring. Bryant Mondry reportedly tracked Gabby's movements and communications. While this specific behavior remains unconfirmed in Winter's case, online analyses have speculated about similar patterns of control that may have existed behind the scenes of their seemingly perfect relationship. So what do we take away from comparing these two heartbreaking stories? What lessons can we learn that might actually save lives instead of just generating temporary social media outrage that fades as soon as the next news cycle begins? Let me know what you think in the comment section. Click on one of the cards on your screen to see more videos like this.
We're running late for dinner, but get ready with us. Well, more so like an outfit of the day. Purse, Forever 21. Bodysuit, Charlotte Russe. Skirt, Shein. I don't have no shoes on, but some sandals. Come on, baby.
Shirt, ABP.
Billionaire boys.
Billionaire boys. Shorts. My baby. Socks. ABP. Baby. Horses. Sorry, that's Foot Locker.
Who was interested first? Who said I love you first? Who's more protective? Who cleans more? Who eats the most? Who spends the most money? Who is most likely to start an argument? Who falls asleep first? Who is more annoying? Who loves the hardest? My name's Winter, and I'm the birthday girl in 3 days, and I'm guaranteed to be the drunkest.
Say one, man. She gonna be the drunkest, I promise you. It's 11:02, 11:05. She out of here.